Good morning. This is your 4x4 or maybe 5 for the fourth week of June. And we're going to kick this off by talking turbine towers. So there have been some towering achievements recently in the space, or that we may see soon. First, the world's first wooden wind tower of any size. A factory is opening in Gothenburg, Sweden, after it got a $7.3 million grant from the EU. Owner Modvion claims these wooden towers will be stronger and cheaper than steel. You just can't smoke inside them. Things are going to be over 100 meters. They have a deal already to provide some 150-meter wooden towers to a Scandinavian developer, and apparently the company is in discussion with two major utilities and some turbine manufacturers. But if you don't want to make turbines out of towers out of trees and hauling all that material onto the site, perhaps a better option would be to print those towers instead. That's GE Renewable Energy's new plan, teaming up with concrete giant Lafarge Holcim and 3D printing specialist Cobod. They've already printed one 30-meter version, but now they're planning on turbine towers up to 200 meters that would be built on the site. Today it's hard to go past 100-meter towers on land because of the 4.5-meter base. It's difficult to move these things down the road, get them under bridges, around cloverleafs, etc. But if you can print them, that can help. And taller towers should improve the economics of wind a lot. One of the figures I saw was that a 5-megawatt turbine at 80 meters generates 15.1 gigawatt hours annually. But if you can double that height, you'll pick up another third as much energy. And a 200-meter tower would be a world record out there, beating the 175-meter cable-stayed design deployed by Vestas in Finland. Speaking of Vestas, Vestas just announced last week that they are cutting a deal with they got a U.S. order for 45 of their 5.6 megawatt turbines, another 20 of their 4.2 megawatt machines. These are by far the largest machines onshore in the U.S. Vestas had sold some in Brazil, but these are the first ones here. Things are going to be enormous. So you'll see better capacity factors and lower levelized costs of energy. The economics simply get better when you get higher and more energy production. Those should be delivered Q2 of 2021 and commissioned a couple quarters later. All that extra wind, by the way, could use some help from storage, and it may get that from cryogenic storage. That's liquid air storage to you. The UK Department for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy announced a $12.3 million grant to HighView Power to help build the world's largest liquid air battery. That's a 50 megawatt, 250 megawatt hour battery in the greater Manchester area. This cryo battery will work jointly with a combined cycle gas turbine, and its income will come from arbitrage, grid balancing, the capacity market, and ancillary services. Long term, that combined cycle plant might be adapted to run on a zero carbon fuel like hydrogen, or retrofitted to include carbon capture. That's the thinking. This Carlton HighView Storage JV then plans to advance beyond this, developing a further 4 cryo battery projects across the UK, amounting to over a gigawatt hour of total storage. Also in the battery game, 8-Minute Energy, the solar developer, says that most of its US-based solar pipeline is going to now co-locate with energy storage, and they indicate over 24 gigawatt hours of storage in the pipeline already. And then finally, the last storage about storage this week is storage on wheels. VW announced that it had upped its initial $100 million stake in the battery technology company QuantumScape, which is focusing on solid state. So they add another $200 million to the pot. Now they're the largest investor. The goal is joint development of solid state batteries and associated large-scale manufacturing capability. They announced that by the end of this year, they'll firm up the plans for pilot production. So we may be looking by the end of 2020 with a view towards, for the first time, solid-state lithium-ion batteries that have been this long-awaited holy grail in that space. So the energy world keeps on changing every single day, and we thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week. Take care.